Across Mexico, violence has gotten so bad that in many cities, officials are actually firing the police. The police, they say, aren't fighting organized crime, but they're actually involved in it. They are calling in soldiers, National Guardsmen, and Marines to help police their towns. An example of this is the city of Sallaya in central Mexico. That is where about 600 National Guards troops arrived earlier this year to try to bring crime and violence down. This is a town where you had more people killed than almost any other city in the world, and a town where organized crime controlled everything from the fuel theft to parts of government and the police. After a string of violence in Sallaya, a new mayor came in town, and his first act was to fire most of the police force and call in National Guard troops. So you have, in cities like Sallaya and across Mexico, soldiers in fatigues and armored vehicles patrolling the streets. This is supposed to make people feel safer. This is supposed to bring security. It's not clear if that has happened. Violence continues at really high rates in Mexico, and according to some estimates, organized crime controls around a third of territory. Militarization has been a really controversial idea in Mexico because a lot of Mexicans don't want soldiers who are trained for war to be in their streets. Soldiers are not trained to conduct police investigations, and so there's a lot of concern in Mexico that they are actually making violence worse. There's also evidence that the armed forces themselves are corrupt. So Mexico's left in a really complicated position where its police are clearly not up to the job, but its armed forces also have clear deficiencies. I was in Sallaya for a few nights. I was out with members of the National Guard, and in just a matter of hours, we visited 3 homicide scenes. One of them was a taxi driver who had been driving his daughter home from school when he was shot and killed. The car flipped over, he died, she survived, and police and authorities said it was most likely because he hadn't paid an extortion fee. In Sallaya, violence remains high, insecurity is very persistent, and like in all of Mexico, authorities are really grappling with what's next.